Biden says he doesn't have confidence in a peaceful transition of power if Trump loses. President said that he doesn't have confidence there'll be a peaceful transition of power if former loses in, pointing to comments from the nominee suggesting the only way he'd lose is if the election is stolen from him. If Trump wins, no, I'm not confident at all, said in an interview with before correcting himself. I mean, if loses, I'm not confident at all. He means what he says. We don't take him seriously. He means it all the stuff about if we lose, there'll be a bloodbath. It will have to be a stolen election, he added in his first interview since ending his campaign, which is expected to air in full mourning. Trump warned in that if he lost the 2024 election, it would be a bloodbath for the auto industry and the country. Comments and his campaign quickly leapt on, claiming the former president was inciting political violence. Biden has long warned that is unlikely to concede the election if he loses, making the issue of protecting democracy a central tenet of his 2024 campaign. In remarks from the last month explaining his decision to end his campaign, sought to contrast refusal to accept election results with his own decision to step aside as the nominee. Look, I'm not the guy that said I wanted to be a dictator on day one. I'm not the guy that refused to accept the outcome of the election, he said at the time. I'm not the guy who said that he wouldn't accept the outcome of this election automatically. You can't only love your country when you win. Since then, the president has largely remained out of sight with a limited public schedule. Aside from remarks announcing a successful prisoner exchange with and welcoming those back stateside and a brief trip to mark the anniversary of the and mourn the death of the late. Sheila has had no public events since ending his campaign, largely ceding media coverage to who he endorsed. Biden also warned that was preparing to challenge the election results again as he did in 2020, including by putting in place sympathetic local election officials. Look, what they're trying to do now in the local election districts where people count the votes, they're putting people in place in states that they're going to count the votes, right? He said. You can't love your country only when you win.